Welcome back to the channel, guys. So finally, I can call it a channel since I've posted one video. I've been overwhelmed with the kind of response that I've received on that video. But ever since I've been bombarded with questions related to IBS Hyderabad, related to MBA, and how was my experience at IBS Hyderabad, I have been bombarded with questions. So I would be discussing my experience of IBS Hyderabad in this video. It would be a very brief video explaining all the activities, all the things that happen at IBS in a very brief. If you want to discuss something with me in detail, you could reach out to me on my email. I'd put that here, and I could definitely give you my contact on my email, and then we can talk about IBS Hyderabad in detail if you want. So let's just start this video then. A little background about me before we start. I'm Harshit Garg. I did my MBA from IBS Hyderabad and I completed it this year only. I was of the batch of 2020 to 2022. I did my MBA in core finance, which means that I took all the 8 subjects in finance stream itself. And one of the milestones that I was able to achieve was that I ended up in my MBA with a complete score of 10 CGPA. That means I was the topper of the batch itself. Also, I was one of the club leaders at IBS Hyderabad also. So this was about me. Now let's just get into the video. Talking about the first point, that is academics. Very, very important. Academics forms the base for any college's reputation, and when we talk about the academics that IBS Hyderabad has to offer, it sits on the top. It sits in the league of premier B schools. I can say that very confidently because I've had a very good experience in terms of what academics had taught me at IBS. Literally speaking, every faculty was very, very approachable. You could contact them any time, any day to get your doubts solved, and if you wanted to discuss something that would further enhance your skills on a personal level, you could also even discuss these things with them. That was the best part about the academics at IBS. In general, when I talk about the specialization subjects, like I was in finance. Finance is hands down one of the most chosen, most widely recognized or most widely appreciated streams of IBS Hyderabad, and it is also chosen by usually the people who are in a higher CGPA bracket, and the faculties are very, very nice. I have had literally zero complaints. Some subjects which I have had no clue, like I would talk about FDRM, which is financial derivatives and risk management. I have had no idea what derivatives are. I knew what derivatives mean, but I never knew what derivatives are in detail. But after 3 to 4 months of learning from faculties, I got to understand FDRM in a very crisp and clear manner, and that is what makes IBS faculties are very, very good faculties. And literally, I have had zero complaints. I have been taught by so many faculties, and I think I have had hardly any bad experiences. And I literally feel that if I have paid 14 and a half lakhs of money for MBA, it was worth it because of the faculties at IBS Hyderabad, and that's probably the best part. Now talking about the second point, which is the extracurricular activities. IBS has probably the most vibrant club culture I have ever seen in my schooling or graduating journey. I have never seen such a vibrant club culture anywhere. IBS has literally 28 to 29 cells, club chapter committees, etc. etc. You have a club cell chapter committee for any sort of activity that you could imagine a student would be interested in. You talk about dance, music, sports, debating, stock market, finance, anything that you could think of. IBS has a society for that, and that's the best part. And the best part is these societies are very competitive in itself. It's a very healthy competition between each other. All the clubs are trying to do better what they did last year, and the best part is they're trying to even compete in the level of events that they are making. They always want to make an event that is one step ahead of the event that last club did, or they even did themselves last year. So there's a very healthy environment in that sense. And talking about pros of club activities. First pro is that it is very beneficial for those students who have had no sort of experience in extracurricular during their schooling and graduating years. It is a good chance to be involved in club activities and learn a lot of things. It would help you develop holistically. It could also act as a very good point in your CV as well, that you were involved in you are involved in extracurricular, it reflects that you are someone who can do multitasking, which is very highly appreciated, especially in the corporate culture. So I would suggest go for clubs. Definitely go for clubs. Don't go for too many clubs. Go for a limited number of clubs, as many as you can handle. Right. There are also cons as well of these things, and I felt it was a little monotonous as well. Monotonous in the sense that we tend to do very similar activities on a very daily basis. So at some point in time, in the start, it feels very interesting, very nice to be a part of the club. But slowly, you start to feel that it is getting very boring. That was my pretty much experience about the extracurricular activities at IBS. Third, talking about the campus itself, IBS has a huge campus. I think it's spread across 91 to 92 acres as per my information. There are wings with common washrooms as well, and there are wings with attached washroom as well. ABCD is the block for boys hostel, which is a common washroom block. QRS is a block for girls hostel, which is a common washroom block again. Then there is G and H block. G block is for girls and H block is for boys. These G and H block are rooms with attached washroom. I personally have had no sense of complaints in common washrooms as well. I shared a common washroom. It was very neat. It used to get cleaned every day, probably once or twice every day, and even housekeeping comes every weekend, and they knock at your door and ask if you want to get your room cleaned. So hygiene is always maintained. There are sanitizers available at every touch point you could see at the college, at even the gate itself. So the campus in general is in terms of rooms is very nice. There's also a clinic available. There's also an ambulance that is there who picks and drops you from your hostel wings in case of any emergencies. There is the presence of any sort. There's the presence of like sports rooms are there. Like you could play badminton, table tennis, squash. There are a lot of things. There's even a swimming pool which was not active due to the COVID times. But I guess in your when you will be heading to IBS Hyderabad, it may be in a working condition and it may be functioning. Talking about mess, my experience with mess was a bit on and off. In the breakfast, I would say it was very South Indian dominated. I completely agree with that. Since I was in South India, I was studying in Hyderabad. You only get North Indian food on Sunday. There was aloo paratha on Sunday, which was fixed in breakfast. Rest all on majorly every day South Indian breakfast was given. There was Wednesday on Wednesday there is egg given. That's pretty much the quotient of non-veg when we talk about breakfast. Lunch was probably the best menu that IBS had to offer, mess had to offer, and the lunch menu was very very nice. It was kind of a mutual kind of a menu where even North Indians won't be disappointed and even South Indians won't be disappointed. So there we used to get curry, rajma, etc. in lunch, and it was good. It was very edible. The lunch was very edible, definitely. There was a third meal, that was the snacks. I had it sometimes I didn't had it, because usually at that point in time when the snacks are offered, the gates are open to go out, and a lot of people tend to prefer to go out and have a little bite outside the college rather than having snacks in the college. Some of the snacks that were offered to us were bhel puri, ragda chaat, and pani puri was also on offer on Thursdays or Friday. Talking about dinner was horrible. I don't have literally another word to describe dinner, because the dinner menu, it's literally, I have not even heard of some of the vegetables that they used to give in dinner. I don't even know what these things are. Being a North Indian, it could be difficult for me to have those dinner, because I've not heard it, and I am not someone who likes to eat every sort of vegetable. I would definitely say that. But if you are someone who is comfortable in eating every sorts of vegetables, greens, and etc., you won't find it very hard. Though the mess quality is fine, but it could be improved a lot. I got to know from a lot of people at the mess that as soon as the number of people increase in the college, like for example during our time, half of the senior batch was there and half of the junior batch was there. So the campus was not running at full capability, right? So the mess said that if they are running at full capability, they open both the messes. There are two messes at IBS, mess 1 and mess 2. They open both those messes, and you could go. And I think they said that one of the mess is North Indian dominated and one of the mess is South Indian dominated, so they cater to both the needs. If that is the case, then that definitely it would be a better experience than mine, at least for you, right? Talking about other general things that about the mess, about the campus. One more thing is that campus is located quite outside the Telangana, the Hyderabad main city itself. So if you want to go to Hyderabad main city, like if you want to go for a chill weekend to the city, etc., it could be very costly sometimes to travel to the city and come back, because two, three reasons of that is major reason of that is supply and demand. There is a huge demand since everyone wants to go to the city, and there is no supply since Uber and Ola are hardly available. Though I would say that on 50% of occasions you would get a Ola and Uber to the city itself, but on 50% of occasions you won't get, and then you have to rely upon the auto rickshaw guys and the cab guys were standing outside the college itself, and they charge literally extraordinary amounts, some amounts you won't even be able to imagine. They literally ask for 2000 rupees like it's nothing, and that's the worst part. But there's one hack. If you are someone who's comfortable in traveling in public transport, I would suggest you to take the bus number 505, which directly comes outside the campus gate itself. Jump on it, and he will drop you to a place from where you could easily get a bus, easily get a cab, easily get a auto for very reasonable rates. You could even book a Ola or Uber from there, and you'll definitely get an Ola or Uber from there. So that is one hack you could use. Also, talking about the outside food, there are 7 to 8 little shacks outside the college. They all pretty much serve the same kind of food. Nothing very differentiated about it, though there are specific things for which specific dhabas are famous for. Like, I liked, for non-veg I like chilies more. For parathas it was Shivani for me. For chai I always went to Chai Joy. So these were my preferences. There could be different preferences up to you. That depends completely upon you. There are only 7 to 8 options, nothing much more than that. There's one complex kind of a thing, just I think 200-300 meters away from the college. You can go there go there on a shared auto or something, and there's Subway available there, Baskin Robbins, etc. There's also a place where you could eat pizza and etc. All those things there. So that's one place. That's pretty much about how the campus is. Now talking about the other point, fourth point, which is the placement. I think the most important factor of anyone who is coming to an MBA, he wants to get to know what the placement scenario looks like at IBS. I would honestly say, at first I was very afraid during when my first year was getting completed and my senior batch was getting placed. They had huge difficulties in getting placed. It was not the fault of college, definitely, because it was a time of Corona and college was trying to adjust. It had to place literally a size of 1200 people, and it is very difficult in those times. I have seen the college working hard. Even the students who were there in my senior batch, they had worked to every inch to get placed, and it was very difficult at that point in time. But luckily our batch did not face so much difficulties. Our batch was one of the most phenomenal placements that have happened across IBS is from our batch. Our batch literally started getting placed on 1st September itself, and I think almost most of the batch was placed before 2022 striked, and that was the best part about it. And the best thing about it, that all of us have got good packages, good packages in the sense that when we came here, we got to know that the average package stands somewhere between 7.5. I'm talking about CTC here, but right now I think this year the CTC has increased by huge margins. I think almost every company have had offered 8.5 CTC, which is a very good thing. That reflects that IBS placement scenario is going very, very strong, and it would definitely pick up in the future. I expect and I hope, because I have the placement team here at IBS is very, 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 very nice, and they have huge network. Those are known as placement officers, and they are the ones who bring the company to the campus. And I think their network is huge. That is why they're able to place 1200 students in 1 year every year, right? So one of the cons, if you would ask me about placements, I would state two actually. First is that you cannot sit for any other company if you have got placed. Like, this is something which is which will obviously bound to happen, because first thing, IBS is a batch size of 1200 every year, right? And placing 1200 students every year, you cannot allow other people to sit in placements who have got placed, right? But in other B schools it is a little different. In other B schools, they allow you to sit in placements if the package offered by the next company is more than the company which you have already got placed in, right? So this kind of rules don't exist here. If you have got placed from the college, you're done. That's it. Your placements are over. Your MBA journey is completely, it's in the sense it's half over, right? Second point which I think is, you may not get the profile that you are looking for always. It's like for example, I was hugely interested in stock market, but when the placement started coming in, I saw that very less number of companies are there who are actually offering stock market related profiles, which is not actually the fault of college, or you cannot call it a con, but then it is the demand of the industry itself, I feel, right? So the demand of the industry depends. I ended up in a job of fintech, though I absolutely think that what I am going to do has a huge scope in the market in the future. But still, I feel if you are someone who is very adamant that you want to do work in a very specific area, it could be very difficult for you to get the exact sort of placements that you are looking at. So you have to some time kneel down and accept whatever that is coming your way. So those are pretty much the cons that I have to say regarding placements. Talking about assessment, one thing that gives you CGPA and all. So talking about assessment, obviously it is divided between 4 semesters, and there is one more assessment which is of your SIP, that is your summer internship program. You are assessed on the basis of 3 NCPs that are taken by every faculty or in every semester. Then there's one CP marks given, which contains 10% of the 100 total, that means 10 marks, and the final exams consist of 40% of your total. So in my opinion, if you are someone who's very highly participative in classes, you would definitely be doing well in one of the NCPs which is related to projects, and one of the CPs itself. In the NCP 1 and NCP 2, which are MCQ types questions, you might have to study. You might have to study and you might have to give some efforts to actually score good marks. I suggest, if you are scoring average marks in those NCPs and you are ending up getting good marks in NCP 3, the project marks, and your CP, you are on a good stage. You will definitely be somewhere between 8, 9, 10 CGPA, I think. Also, final becomes very important since it's a huge question. So I would definitely suggest, if you are not even studying for NCP 1 and NCP 2 very wholeheartedly, definitely study for final exams wholeheartedly, since they are the major component of any scoring. And pretty much that concludes the video. It's here. I have nothing more to tell you about in general sense. If you are looking for something specific, you can drop me a mail yet again, and we could continue from further there. I would definitely respond to you on mail, or I would give you my contact there. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. All the best for your journey at IBS.